Wednesday. Did you just flash gang signs on YouTube? It's Wednesday. Says I.
Says he.
Turn your hat around.
Why?
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
It's Wednesday night. Time for Strang
need help.
Theory.
Mm-hmm.
Our partners in crime, Boucher, Levy's, G&G Music, Brickhouse Guitars, K&K Gallagher Guitars.
Word.
Big news. Big news coming from them guys real soon, shortly. Recording King Alvarez, Yeri, St. Louis Music. Big news coming from them.
Shizzle.
It's here now. Did you say shizzle?
Never say that again, Chris.
Yamaha, Canada.
Yo, sup.
No.
James Martin Instruments, Close Guitars, and mandolins now.
Mm-hmm.
No, they won't send me one. They should. Cody Guitars, Orangewood Guitars, D'Addario, The Arc, Apollo Picks, Epiphone Gibson, Blue Chip Picks, Tone Slab.
Yo, mama.
It's just wrong.
LR Bags, Maestro Hose and Guitars, George Crackett, Emerald Guitars over in Ireland. Potatoes. Nova Scotia SPCA, Charmed Life Picks, Pickers Grip, Fleming Guitars, our buddy in Idaho, and the Tone Traveler people. Tone Traveler. And all that's left to be said after that is
Word.
welcome.
Word.
String Theory. Here's John and Chris and Ginger.
Professional.
You really suck at this tonight. It's just, ow. That wearing my hat gives me a headache that way. Why are you wearing a fucking Christmas hat?
Well, you were wearing a hat. I wanted a hat, too.
And there's no other hats in
There's
this
all
room to
kinds
choose
of
from?
hats here. You can have any hat.
This one is festive. There you go.
Okay.
Fresh Prince. Flesh Prince.
Flesh Prince of Bel Air, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it just looks
The
so
Fresh
wrong.
Prince of Bel Curve.
Can't take you seriously like that.
What's that?
Fresh Prince of Bel Curve. Shut up.
That's the same thing my head is saying.
Jeez.
You get the whole team with you there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I ate them this morning.
You're already off the rails and haven't even
I
started.
know I got the giggles already. Okay.
Send
Well,
help.
it's because you are the proud recipient of the official asshole coin.
I'm now a coined asshole.
Yes. Coined asshole. Of course, we knew that already. Just not the coin.
We call
Yeah,
it general
it's coin.
douchebag.
Yeah.
Smells like copper.
It smells like Teen Spirit. Smells like bread in here. Rotten, moldy bread. Smells like yeast and shame in here.
What are you even talking about? Oh my god. Can I call in my replacement? Who's my understudy? Steve.
And we haven't even been drinking for more than 20 minutes.
Speak for yourself. I've been drinking since yesterday.
That's not true.
Anyhow,
Oh,
it's
okay.
nice to have you back with us.
Happy Wednesday, everybody.
All kinds of cool things going on. Gallagher Guitars. I got a great text from David Mathis. We'll go to the Capo Corner right now, which is going to be big announcement from Gallagher Guitars. Really big. Big announcement from Yeri. That guitar is here. And all my partners in crime are like just freaking out. They're on a heavy duty.
Sedatives?
Yes, they have to be to deal
That's
with me.
what I should do.
Who's
But,
talking? Who is that?
Oh God.
New
She's gonna
coping
kill-
strategy.
She's gonna kill you. You realize she has all the production buttons over there.
Mm-hmm.
Just push mute anytime I want.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm.
Did you get distracted talking about the partners? Is
Yeah.
that where you ended up?
Well, yeah.
It's like herding cats.
Are we?
There's a lot going on.
There's
So,
nothing going on.
Do
You're
we have
just
a little
distracted.
spring fever happening?
We could have. It was slightly warm today.
It was just the
Yeah.
the slightest hint of warm, and the
I
lake is
didn't
unfrozen.
have to spatula my frozen scrotum off the side of my leg after being outside
for 5
for
minutes.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually close to zero.
As long as the
Yeah.
sun is out and visible,
You don't
you don't
die.
immediately get frostbite in your digits
That's right.
going outside.
Oh, the drama.
Your digits. You got some. You digit.
You're both digits.
Bite my digit.
That's B. No, it's B flat.
We're playing bottle music.
We'll do the rest of the song later.
Yeah. Once we figure it out.
We only got that part done before rehearsal. There, prior to the show starting. We'll promise to get the rest of it after. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, so far
There's
you've really
guitars
filled
flying
everybody
around
in
here.
great.
There's guitars flying
Tell
around.
us more.
There's signature models flying here and there. It's out of control.
There's
Out.
guitars there that you can't see. There's guitars there that you're not allowed to see. There's a couple guitars there that you're not allowed to see.
And there's one that I'm going to sell that you'll never see. And
Ginger's playing one right now that you can't even hear.
so yeah,
Okay.
yeah. As I had it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a piece of sick. Okay, connect. Connect. What do we got? Who's the first person to go?
First.
The first connection, correction, goes to Kahoo.
A highlighted chat from
Stop
Stephen Baker.
capering my beer.
Oh my god.
Out of control.
You ready, kids?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely ready.
He's this close to his aspiration.
I'm beyond.
First Christian goes to.
Clucky.
It's a highlighted chat from Stephen Baker.
Sure it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Stephen Baker, you sudsy, wet bastard.
Yeah.
He said he gently boiled himself today.
Gently
Boiled, parboiled Stephen Baker.
He's a little bit boiled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simmered
Yeah.
Baker.
Yeah.
Where do you get the hats that have the bill on the side? I can only find ones that have it on the front.
You gotta look long and hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Long
you'll
and
never
hard.
be able to find.
Specialty shops.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Soft entry there. Okay, next.
Super chat from Ian Roster.
Ian Rossiter.
I'm sorry,
Attaboy,
Ian.
buddy.
Tried a Red Eye preamp a few nights ago, and it was the most amazing, beautiful mandolin live sound I've ever had. Ever try one.
What was it?
Red Eye.
Red Eye preamp.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. I'll have to look it up now.
Pink Eye, once or twice.
Yeah.
But,
Especially when he has beans.
yeah.
Yeah. He tends to give the entire room pink eye. Yeah. Yeah. Last time he had chili con carne at the festival, yeah, I couldn't open my eyes for 4 days. Had the chills on them open with a bread knife at the festival. Yeah. I used the crumbs to feed the pigeons.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Next.
That's far too much of that. So I got the Q&A tab working. That's pretty cool.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, well,
a new piece of technology that messes up.
that'll save the show.
Oh, yeah, that'll save everything.
Says the guys that don't work the chat. Everyone.
Okay.
It's actually quite handy. All the questions are in one place. I don't have to sift through. It's quite nice. James Graff wants to know if you learned to play Angie yet.
No, and I probably won't. I've researched this tune, and now I know what it is, and so yeah, It's not something I would play.
Not something you'd play?
No.
Not something you'd even attempt?
No. It's not. It's
not for you.
Angie, everybody, I'm going to piss everybody off right now.
Oh, Christ, again?
So, Angie is an instrumental that anybody can play.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was popular. If it was popular, it's not really something that I was aware of as a guitar player, because I tend to gravitate to stuff that's really difficult. So Angie's not difficult. It's sort of the wildwood flower of fingerstyle guitar.
Oh, okay.
So anybody can do it. It's the best version I found of it.
Thank you.
Was, of all people, Paul Simon.
Really?
Yeah, that was the best version of it I heard. I listened to the guy who wrote it. I don't remember
There's
his
a
name,
new documentary on Paul Simon out.
Yeah, he's a monster. I was just listening to some of the
just
live...
get on the bus, Gus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just listening to some of the live Simon and Garfunkel recordings, and they floored me how good those guys were, like 40 years after the fact, right? Like, but I think even quite possibly the best known version of Angie is Paul Simon's version. Because the guy who wrote it, I don't think he was quite as mainstream as Paul Simon would have been at the time.
Word.
So, yeah, it's not a hard tune. Anybody can play it.
You should play it right now.
I don't remember it. I listened to it a few times and thought, well, I know the tune. I recognize what it is. I've heard it a million times, but it's not something I would learn any more than I would learn, Stairway to Heaven or Smoke in the Water or whatever.
Truth, yo.
Yeah, whatever. So anyhow, sorry, but still a good tune. Just
Talk
I don't
about
care.
tomorrow?
I just don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
Very good. Hi, Jack. Super chat from Sarah Watson.
Sarah Watson, that's new.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
What's the beautiful fiddle tune played during the opening of your Life in Music series?
It's a tune that I wrote that was commissioned by the CBC as the theme song for the Pit Pony show. And then they didn't use it. So nobody... I love that tune.
So it's kind of shit pony.
Yeah, the shit pony.
Yeah, it's called the shit pony.
Next.
It's fun.
Okay.
Megan's having fun with all the new buttons over there.
Mm-hmm. I am. And people are using it, which is really nice.
Okay.
A question from Chillerism.
Who?
Chillerism.
Chillerism.
That's different.
Have you been able to get your hands on an RKRO 729 all solid Koa Triple O 12 fret?
What?
It's a Recording King.
No,
something.
I haven't. I've kind of lost touch with Recording King, and I don't know why, because I helped them sell a lot of guitars, but they don't talk to me very much anymore. I think I don't know. But I'm not privy on any of the new stuff that's coming out, and someday they'll call me with something, I'm sure. But
you're not behind the scenes right now.
Nope, no. But I worked with them for several years about their QC and all that stuff that they were having problems with, and I helped them get through a lot of that shit. And it's hard when you're a small company and you're building overseas and you're there's nobody from your company actually physically in the place where the guitars are being built.
Supervisory, yeah.
So, but still, I see them. I see the guitars in stores, and I see people buying them. So, more power to them.
Mm-hmm.
If there's new equipment, new models and stuff, I've not been apprised of all of that.
Appraised.
So yeah.
Apprised.
Knerxt.
A question from Adam K.
MK.
Have you ever played an Eastman Spruce Top Mandolin MD315? What are your thoughts?
I love all Eastman mandolins. I've never played a bad one. I have two of them. Megan plays one. I've answered that question multiple times on the show, and the answer remains the same. Eastman builds the best mandolin for the money that you can buy. There's nothing even remotely close to their quality level at the price that they're talking about, right? My mandolins that I bought from them are around, the $2,000 level, I have two of them, an F and an A. But the models below that, Ginger has one that's, I think, a 315. It's incredible. And it's a $400, $500 mandolin.
It's an A style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've recorded with it. I recorded multiple albums with it. And, yeah, I swear by Eastman. It's all I use for Mandos. Kernurst.
Trying to find. Graham Campbell said he sent a question, but I don't see it.
Maybe it's in the other box.
No,
under
I don't
the other
think
button.
I don't see it.
Maybe you should press the flip-flop, yo.
Yeah. Question from Jim Waller.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Scared the shit out of me.
Oh, did I?
I thought I was having a fucking stroke there or something.
What did you just
I
do?
can't feel my face. Fuck, man. Scared the living shit out of
I
me.
did too. Look at you.
Fuck. Don't do that to me.
You were yawning. You weren't
If you
reacting.
knew how close I was to death every day, you wouldn't do that to me.
Oh, the drama.
Okay, next. Fucking dick. I need scotch.
A question from Jim Waller.
They keep wheezing there. Fucking have a stroke yourself, buddy. How's the blood pressure? Room spinning now? Things getting kind of cloudy?
Look at your
Fucking dick.
Okay, Chris, simmer down.
That was the longest wheeze I've ever heard in my life.
Gather yourself.
I mean, that sound, the Titanic sinking didn't sound that long. That took 3 hours. What a dick. Fucking coin on top of my phone screen, you dork. Okay, next. What do we got? Give me something before I kill this guy.
I'm trying, but Chris won't shut up.
No. Sounds like a set of bagpipes being drummed behind a moving car. Do you want some? I got a puffer over there. You want some?
I'll go over there and
Listen
give you a
to
little
him.
purple nurple.
Listen to him.
I'd rather not.
It's like a
Can you
fucking
stop?
bicycle tire deflating for 3 days.
Stop! You're killing me.
It's really not that funny.
I'm trying.
Nothing is that funny. It's really not.
Okay. I just licked his hand. Oh, we're good. He's mine now.
Okay, yeah.
What do you got?
They're like
Give it something,
over-caffeinated
for fuck's
toddlers or something.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
You're in a rough shape.
Should I just go?
Could you just give me something, please?
I could just go.
We gotta start the show soon.
Oh my fucking Jesus.
Okay, give me a question for Christ's sake, please.
Trying.
Something, anything. Make one up.
Boucher OM was looking at Babinga, but the new GR Maples look outstanding. Thoughts?
Oh, you got to go with the Grand Reserve, no question. End of comment. Babinga's great, but the Grand Reserve Maples
They're beautiful.
are unbelievable. So, yeah, there's no question there. There's nothing to decide between. I don't know CPR. Right? You haven't breathed in the last 5 minutes.
Mel does, but I'm not going to tell her to do it.
Next.
Question from Iggy Club.
Iggy Club?
Mm-hmm. What's the
Christ.
best guitar under $10.50?
The best guitar under what?
$10.50. Is that like a Kleenex box with a rubber band?
Yeah. It's, I come to your house and show you a picture of a guitar and punch you in the face. That's the best one. Okay, next.
Oh my god.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
He can't stop. He cannot stop.
Just looking at your stupid faces.
Find
Oh my
something
God.
heavier to throw at his head.
Can you have another question at all?
I can. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. It's a super chat from Sonia H.
Sonia H.
I want to change the bridge pins on my Yamaha 12-string and keep the big jangly sound. Should I go with bone or tusk?
Holy
I was
Jesus.
supposed to biff him off the porch.
Oh. Well, I would say go with tusk.
Just yeet him in the driveway.
Yep, nope, stay off the bone. Tusk will give you a lot of the jangle.
It's harder.
And, Jesus, man. It'll
Chris,
give you,
for fuck's
it'll
sakes.
give you a lot of, it'll give you a lot of the jangle and not worried about too much. You'll have a lot of resistance from the bridge plate with the tusk, which will give you a lot more jangle. Bone it wears out, and it's not as bright as tusk. So, despite my partner here having a fucking seizure, apparently he's had about 9 strokes so far, I think. If we ask him where he lives right now, he's probably going to say Botswana or somewhere like that. But yeah, go with the tusk. Next.
Question from Andy A.
Andy A.
Could you remind us of the wood your signature model from Gallagher is built from?
is built from Tennessee Adirondack and bird's eye maple or flame maple or quilted maple. I've only seen pictures of it. It could be quilted. It's definitely maple. But yeah, I just saw pictures of it today, and it looks unbelievable. So yeah, and it's an OM style body. So yeah, it's going to be incredible. They told me today they couldn't believe how loud it was, which does not surprise me, seeing the wood that's in it. So yeah, it'll be quilted maple, Tennessee Adirondack, not torrefied. It's got a 3-piece neck in it, which is really cool. We're talking wide strip, mahogany maple, mahogany strip. I think that's what it is. So, yeah, I'll either be receiving that in June when I go down, or he might ship it to me. But he's sold them already. He's got 2 sold, 1 waiting to go, and I don't even have
yours yet.
I don't have number 1 yet, but it's there. I saw the pictures, so it's gonna be
beautiful.
deadly, unbelievable. Gallagher builds great guitars, without a doubt.
I already think I got it.
Okay, next.
Question from Steve Enger.
Steve Hager. And he's in relation to Jack Laughter.
Don't do it. How are you loving the bridge on your 60s J45? Thoughts on replacing? I have the same guitar and love the bridge personally.
Never replace it. That's ridiculous.
Why?
That's why it's so good. Is it's got that bizarre bolted on big giant bolt. Me and you, remember we found the nut underneath?
Yeah.
That thing is bolted through the top. 1 bolt, and it'll never come off. And that's why that thing sounds so good. Is because that stupid, 70-year-old technology, so you can raise and lower your saddle at will. It's beautiful. That's why it sounds so good. Don't ever replace that, ever. That's the whole point of the 60s reissue, is that saddle and bridge. So, yeah, don't take it off. Kerr. Next.
Super chat from Stephen Baker.
Stephen Becker.
Of course, he has to make a joke. He's going to get Chris started again. Anyway, I thought the jangle was really close to the bone. I knew there was a bone joke coming somewhere.
This show just keeps going further and further into the toilet.
I had such high hopes for this show.
Oh, there's your coin. Get
Yes.
that asshole.
Yeah. Take
Next.
that, you asshole.
Super chat from Jim Waller.
Jim Waller.
Hey, Jim.
This show is officially off the rails. Time to ask the question. We've covered so much. I don't know what the question. I don't know what the question is.
Oh. I guess I have to guess at the question, Jim?
I'm not sure.
Well,
Let's see, maybe he's got one hidden
I
back
love
here.
you anyway.
Maybe Jim
Love you
wants
anyway.
us to end the show at 25 after.
There's probably a lot of people wanting us to end the show
Yeah.
at 25 after at this point.
Oh.
Next.
Question from Corey McCormick.
All right, Corey, how you doing, buddy?
JP, putting you on the spot. I want a high-end pick to accompany my Boucher OMs. I use 1.5 millimeter teardrop. What's the one you'd go for?
Good Lord. Any of the companies that I play, like, the list is right there, like Apollo. Apollo's a great company. Blue Chip, Tone Slab, Charmed Life. Any of them. Any of those picks where you're paying a premium of $40 to $50 a pick, they are worth every dime. What do I have in my pocket lately? I have a Blue Chip, a TP40, which I find is slightly too light for me, but it works. It's got great tone. You can really dig in with it. It sticks to you. Well, if you use your picker grip, it'll stick to you pretty good. But generally speaking, all these companies make teardrop style picks. You don't have to go with these three-sided deals. They all make regular picks with a single point. But the great thing about a three-sided pick is you get 3 picks in one. If you wear one point out, switch around one of the other 2. So the pick lasts you 3 times longer than a single point pick, right? So that's a big plus. And plus there's more real estate to actually grab onto when you're playing, which makes a big difference. So, but any of those companies, any one of them, there's no one, you can't go wrong with any of them. Apollo, Blue Chip, Tone Slab, Charmed Life. Charmed Life makes great picks. I love their picks. Also, Tone Traveler makes great flat picks. So there's a lot of choices. You have a ton of choices.
They're all about the same price.
They are. They're all in that $40 to $60 range. Let's see that. That's a good idea right there. Like this is a Clayton. I had these customized with my name on them. They're a standard celluloid kind of, and they last forever. And the best thing about them is when you play with them, you actually create your own bevel. They wear slowly but well, and that's a 1.5 with my name on her. I send these away to my friends and stuff. So yeah,
I don't have one.
He said friends.
I said friends. Friends, Chris. Friends. Next.
Question from Eli Patrick Music.
Eli Patrick Music.
Hey everybody, what are your thoughts on ribbon mics as opposed to dynamic and condenser mics?
Well, I don't know.
Very limited.
I've been using this mic for years, and I have a ribbon mic I use for years. I love them both.
They're limited, though.
Well, the only ribbon mic that I'm aware of that I would use is a Royer. And ribbon mics are hard to store. You have to store them upright. They can't lay them down. They're very fragile things. And they do sound incredible. I've used them in the studio and stuff. But I've got just as good results from this Aspen Origin and my Golden Age ribbon. I have a Golden Age ribbon mic in there. It costs $200. And I've recorded entire albums with it. Everything, all the instruments, all the vocals. It sounded fucking great, right? So microphones are... The idea that you have to spend $1 million on a microphone is bullshit. You don't. This costs $250. It's possibly the best microphone I've ever used.
It's very consistent.
Yeah, it's incredible. It works like a charm.
It's tough.
I just recorded a bunch of guitar stuff this afternoon with this mic, and it's stellar. Like just all meat and potatoes all the way. Like just all the bottom end, the nice highs, good mids. So you don't have to spend $1 million on a Neumann or any of that stuff. Just go buy a mic that is marketed as versatile. If you go buy mics that are like, this is the greatest mic for vocals, you don't want that mic. You want a mic that they say this thing can record anything. And that's what this does.
You know what a great mic is?
What is that?
SM57.
Gee, don't listen to him, please. I'm not sure what he ate before he came over here, but it's adversely affecting his judgment.
Full plate of piss and vinegar.
Next.
Question from Iggy Club.
Iggy Club?
Mm-hmm. You keep saying, every time I say their name, you say the same thing.
Right.
Like you've never heard it before.
Hi, Iggy.
Hi, Mr. Club.
Mr. Club.
Is that Jack's new album cover behind the table?
Oh, that's his feature cover on Dog magazine.
Yes. Jill has one as well.
Yeah, Jill has one too.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Made those. For his birthday. He's famous. The dog, not John. Question from Graham Campbell.
Hey, Graham.
Do you have any home remedies for the singing voice, especially when gigging a lot and battling colds?
I wish I could tell you, because I lost my voice 2 months ago and still haven't have it back.
He says, well,
I have no idea how to fix it. I'm not sure what it is, what happened to me, but I get sick twice in a row. Me and Dave both get sick. Once in December, once in January. The second time was strep, and I went through 2 rounds of antibiotics, and I still can't talk. So that was months ago.
Honey lemon tea.
So yeah, you know the best thing in the world for your voice or anything else
Sushi.
is single malt scotch.
Spicy tuna rolls.
Spicy tuna rolls. Anything spicy actually might help.
Bowmore 15. That's the cure for every fucking thing. Connect.
Not tomfoolery. Another question from Iggy Club.
Iggy Club.
Mr. Club.
Do Chris's tusk nuts jangle when he laughs so hard?
Next.
Connect.
Oh, a super chat from Larry Reinders.
Larry Reinders. Love you, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Would you please ask everyone to cross all of their body parts? Let Matt Anderson and Morgan Toney know that we're hoping for them to win a Juno on Sunday.
Sweet.
That's right. Yeah.
Morgan will. He's got it sewed up. He just has.
You don't think
He
Matt's gonna
can't
win?
lose.
You don't think Matt will?
I think Matt will
They're
win.
not in the same. They're not in the same category.
It doesn't mean Matt's not gonna win.
I don't
Yeah.
know what category Matt's in, or
Probably
who he's up
several.
against. But
Blue
Morgan
something?
Toney, he's probably he's going to do it.
What are you doing, Jack? Why you look so ashamed of yourself?
Okay, next.
Question from the Happy Knot.
Happy good night.
Happy cannot.
How would you describe your Bob Kogut fiddle tonally? Do you think his fiddles suit the Cape Breton fiddle sound?
Oh yeah. By far times 10. That violin is huge. Huge. It's got a massive bottom end. All of the notes on it are thick. Like that's my kind of fiddle tone. I don't like thin sounding fiddles. And every note on that thing, every string, you know, some fiddles, the E string is piercing and sharp and tiny. And I hate that. I want every string on it to be the full spectrum of the body of the fiddle. And Bob Kogut gets that. I don't know how the hell he does it. I've heard lots of other fiddles with that, but not made in North America. Bob Kogut knows something that we all don't. He's a superhero, that guy, when it comes to building fiddles. So yeah, it absolutely fits Cape Breton style, because a lot of the times when you're playing Cape Breton fiddle music, you're probably trying to sound like people like Winston and Angus. And well, if you listen to those old tapes and records, Winston had a huge tone, even though he was playing a complete piece of shit for a fiddle. And it was all in the left hand. He forced the violin he pulled every bit of music he could out of what he had. And the notes sound huge. They're just humongous, rattling the walls, as my trusted partner is illustrating as huge. So yeah, Bob Kogut is a god. He's one of the best fiddle builders I've ever seen in my life. Bob Kogut. Mm-hmm. He's the man.
There you have it.
Correct.
Question from Norman Aben.
Norman Aben.
Aben.
Mm-hmm.
When's the next guest bluegrass group coming to the channel?
What's that?
When's the next guest bluegrass group coming to the channel?
When I can find one, we'll come up here and play. And not suspect that I'm trying to do them in somehow. Because all Atlantic bluegrass bands are like, well, we can't do that, boys, because he's probably going to try to do this and this and this. And
not all of them. We've had some of them in here.
Yeah,
we've had any conspiracy theories
in here, but they're all the same. They're all just terrified that somebody's going to try to do them in. But that happens because that's the way the bluegrass industry is in this part of the world. What is wrong with your beer?
I think you just need to replace your beer and you. Just replace it with you.
Replace your few? What?
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Needs to be answered.
Connect.
Let's see. Here it is. A question from Kenny Shalafew Music.
Kenny Shalafew.
I haven't even thought of changing the bridge pins on my Martin D13. Any suggestions?
I would replace the bridge pins with railroad spikes
Here comes
right
sarcasm.
through the back, and then we'll nail it to a piece of plywood.
6-inch spiral resin
put it in the
nails.
fucking fireplace, because that's about all you're gonna do with a D13.
It might have a good one.
It'll burn good because it's plywood.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Go up fast too because of the resins they use in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'll blow up. It'll just burn. You can cook 100 wieners over a D13, pretty much. So yeah.
Just don't use anything galvanized.
That was probably
in
severely
all
unhelpful.
honesty, it's just not a good guitar. I'm sorry, but it's not.
The bridge pins are probably worth
It's
more.
built the bridge. Yeah, the bridge pins are probably worth more than the materials in the guitar. So anything below an 18 is made out of laminates and built in Mexico mostly, and it isn't going to make any difference what you put in that guitar. If they're not shipping them with plastic, I think they are.
They are.
So you if you get tusk in it, or Martin makes these new liquid metal bridge pins, which are designed to make their shitty guitars sound better.
Brighter.
The older ones, the crappier ones, right? The lower priced ones. So try that. Mm-hmm. But frankly, you need to go if you're going to spend that kind of money on a guitar. They're not cheap. A D13 is still $1,000-$2,000 for that.
You try using a ram set and some concrete nails. Bridge pins.
You should go buy something that's made out of real wood.
He said he wanted an FG5, but they were sold out.
That's the guitar you need. Yeah. FG5s, 100% solid.
They're not sold out everywhere.
No, you can find one. That D13 won't last you. And if you put, it's one of those things like when you build a house out of plywood, you find in the wood it's been rotting for 30 years, and you build a section under the house out of brand new lumber, the whole thing falls down when you put the good lumber attached to good lumber to it. So if you put decent pins in that guitar, God knows what's going to happen to it. It might split your bridge. It might. God knows what it'll do. So you have to.
If you saw the neck off it and plant a cactus in it.
You've got to get a better guitar.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
The cactus won't take much water.
No.
So.
So just
it'll last longer that way.
And I'm sorry. I don't mean to shit on your guitar choice, but I just know I've seen those instruments that are like I look at them, I play them and go, what? Like, this is not a Martin. It isn't a Martin. It's not what they're supposed to build. So anyhow, if you do decide to put changing pins, tusk will help. The liquid metals might help. but you're still going to be shortchanged in the long run.
If you're going down that rabbit hole, you may as well change the bridge. You may as well change the nut.
Yeah.
I mean,
put my card in everywhere. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, there's better guitars out there than that for the same money, or
find the Yamaha.
Sometimes less. So, like, you can go into a store and find an LS6 or an LS16 that's like $800 to $1,000 that will destroy that guitar, destroy that Martin. No questions asked. And be better, play better, sound better, look better. You just have to get over the idea that you need to be having a Martin on your headstock. So, sorry to be so brutally honest, but I'm tired of people doing that. Saying about, you just don't fall into that trap.
Well,
if you're going to buy a Martin, buy a D18 or a D28 or 35 or 41 or a 40 J40 or a 45. Those are real Martins. That's what they are known for. Anything beyond that is just their desire to keep selling guitars to people who can't afford real ones. So they build them in Mexico, and they build them out of plywood, and they build them out of laminate 25-piece necks. Like, all this weird shit. They do. Have you ever seen those necks? They're like 25 strips of fucking laminate crap. And they're, like, unbelievable. It blows me away that they would put their name on something like that. I had a Johnny Cash D35, cost $7,000. And I sold it. Because it was so much guitar, I couldn't keep it. I sold it to a guy down the South Shore. The Johnny Cash guitar now is built in Mexico, 100% plywood, and the neck is laminate strips, an eighth of an inch thick, 100 of them. Like, and that, if you get that neck wet, it literally falls apart like a McDonald's straw. It does. It's terrifying how poorly made those guitars are. And they got John's name on them. Cash right across the bottom of the neck. Like, come on, boys. Smarten up. Martin,
don't be a bunch of assholes.
That's right. Okay, next.
Question from Iggy Club.
Iggy Club.
Mr. Club.
Serious question, finally. Do you know Coulter Wall? I thought he was 6 years old the first time I heard him singing.
I love Coulter Wall. Dave Gunning introduced me to him, and I love him. He's awesome. He blows me away every time I hear him. It's like a cross between Stompin' Tom and Hank Williams. It's killer. Great songwriter.
How old is he now?
I don't know. I don't know anything about him. I just know I've heard him. I know his music. He sounds like he's in his 30s or 40s, but God knows. Brilliant, genius writer.
Question from Steve Anger.
Steve Anger again. He's really angry about it.
Do we possibly see an episode on beginner fiddle tips or something on getting started in that world? Obviously practice, but would love some pointer to get over the learning curve. Thanks, guys.
You got to go to mastermusicmethod.com. mastermusicmethod.com. And there, I'm not sure how many lectures there is on fiddle on there. There's over a dozen of them. But the first 6 of them are going to change your life. You got a 3-day free trial. It's only, I think it's $22 a month to have unlimited access to all 4 instruments on the site. But the fiddle directory, if you're a beginning fiddler, you need to watch those videos. Even if you go in there and look at them free for 3 days and then not sign up, do it. Or stay on. And there's lots of stuff in there for you to do.
That's mastermusicmethod.com.
Mastermusicmethod.com.
Please use on a high-speed internet connection.
Okay.
May cause anal itching and rectal pussing.
Loss of scalp and penis.
Don't make me start throwing stuff
Next.
Super chat from Kenny Shalafy Music.
Kenny Shalafy. We only have 4 people watching us, don't we?
Well, actually, they stopped abandoning ship when Chris stopped laughing.
Right.
They've come back now. Jumping off like mice on a sinking ship before. Another question. I play guitar, banjo, and fiddle too. How did you allot time to practice all yours and get to the level you are? Daily practice or in chunks? Cheers.
No, I practiced.
Oh, chickens.
I practiced what I had to practice for the job I had at the time. So, in other words, when I was doing a gig that was only mandolin, I played the mandolin all the time. I was doing a gig that needed guitar and banjo. Those are the things I played. And I got most of my practice on stage and in rehearsal with the bands I was working with. So I never privately rehearsed, except for guitar. I've always privately rehearsed guitar because that's my main instrument. It's all I've ever done. But the biggest things, the biggest multi-instrumentalist gigs I've had, those are the things that I used to get better at those instruments. So it's you can't sit down and partition out that you're going to do so many hours of banjo, so many hours of banjo, so many hours of fiddle. That's not how it works. You got to get work doing those instruments and be functionally literate on all of them so that you can get work where you're hired as a utility man to do more than one thing. Then that job will teach you shit tons about what you're doing, and then your practice time gets spent on the things that you find to be the hardest to do. Okay, that's the secret. So there you go. Kerr.
That's it.
Next.
A super chat from John Boland.
John Boland.
I tried using the Aston Origin with my Fishman amp, but feedback was horrible no matter how I arranged the physical setup. Is this expected? Any tips?
I'm not sure what you were trying to do.
Was this live?
I would assume so.
Yeah, you're
not the right combo.
No, Fishman amps are not meant to be mic'd.
No.
They have one of the best direct out DIs of any amplifier ever made. They're meant to be the XLR out of the back of the amp into the soundboard. They're not meant to be mic'd, period. So it doesn't matter what you put in front of them, it's going to sound like shit.
Yeah.
So if you're on stage with a Fishman amp, you should be coming out of the XLR output that's labeled post EQ DI.
Direct out. Yeah.
That's it. That's what you need to give to the sound man. Miking it is not going to work.
Especially with an Aston.
No, this is a huge spectrum.
Yeah.
It picks up everything from every direction virtually. It's pretty dead in the back, but not as dead as you'd think. And it's not designed for miking an amplifier. So there you go. One line out. No feedback, zero feedback, end of story, end of problem. Okay, next.
Question from Martin Aslake.
Martin Aslake?
No.
What?
Aslake?
Aslake.
Oh my god.
It's fairly, I got my coin. It's in my pocket.
I can afford only one new guitar this year. Epiphone USA Texan or Martin D28?
USA Texan. All day long. The USA Texan is way better built. It's built in the Montana shop by Gibson, and it's going to have 10 times the personality that a D28 is going to have. You might not have the giant bluegrass thing, but you might not have that with the D28, right? You have to get the right one. But the Epiphone Texan, American, whew, it's going to sound incredible. It's going to be fat, warm, easy to play. It'll last you a million years, all solid, all built in the custom shop in Montana. You can't go wrong. And they're very rare. They're not building thousands of these guitars. They're building hundreds of them. The D28, they're going to build 1 million of those this year and ship them all over the planet. Epiphone, American Texan, not so many. So you're talking about a in the long run a way more collectible instrument as well than a 28. So.
Poor Jacko.
Poor Jack. Oh Jesus.
Beans climbing over her mouth. Oh, Jill.
Wretched.
Where'd it go? Question from Jagaland.
Jagaland.
Hey JP, I keep my bouchées stored in their cases. Is there a preferred way to store the case, standing up or on its edge?
Doesn't matter. Just don't store it up against an outside wall.
Yeah.
Keep the cases against inside walls. Don't store your guitars against a wall that the other side of the wall is the outside.
Like this wall on these guitars?
That's right.
Okay.
You're never supposed to do that.
On both ends?
But the only reason I'm doing it is because these walls are unique. They're 6 inches thick, and they're 1 inch of pure hemlock going all the way around them. So that the inhalation and exhalation of moisture in this room is way different. Plus, all the walls are wood.
Plus, there's a huge humidifier.
Yeah. So the wood actually, if it was drywall, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But because it's wood and super hard, dense hemlock, it's not dangerous as if it were drywall. So, there you go. Try next.
Super chat from Ian Rossiter.
Ian Rossiter.
A few years ago, I made the decision to get better at mandolin when I'd go out to play. That's what I'd take and force myself to be better. That's just like going back to the practice when you need to question.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, it sure doesn't show, but you know. Anyhow,
you're such an arsehole.
Here's your asshole.
Oh my god.
Love you, Ian. You're a monster Mando player.
Question from Corey McCormick.
Corey McCormick.
What's the most memorable show you've ever played?
That would have been the reopening of the Ryman Auditorium that we filmed for CBS television back in 93. That was the best thing. That was the most memorable thing I've ever done. I met everybody that night, from Quincy Jones to my dressing room was me, Marty Stewart, Carl Perkins, Steve Warner, and Vince Gill.
Mm.
All in the dressing room. I stayed around in my underwear with those
Vince
guys.
Grill?
Vince Grill, yeah. So yeah, that was the biggest one. There's snippets of it on YouTube. Just look, if you look for the reopening of the Ryman, we played that show. It was incredible. It was 2 days' work. It was really something. Kernerxt. You won't recognize me either, because I was 200 pounds lighter and had hair down to my arse. So just look for the skinny, weird, blonde-haired guy.
You look like Garnet Rogers back in the old days.
Yeah, you look like an Edsel that's hit a maple tree at 60 miles an hour. Next.
If you had a chance to catch Lightfoot's daughter live before, she plays here in Ontario occasionally.
Meredith Moon's awesome. I love her. Love her. We're supposed to be recording together. We've been talking to each other and trying to decide how to. The last thing Lightfoot wanted from me was to do the Long River Volume 2. And I asked Meredith if she'd be interested to help me, and she said yes. So, yeah, you are. So we're trying to. She's so busy. I'm so busy. It's just pandemonium. We can't get together, but we're trying. Anyhow, there you go. Okay, next.
Super chat from Stephen Baker.
Mm-hmm. Stephen Becker.
Please tell some Vince Gill stories.
I don't have any Vince Gill stories.
Vince Grill.
Stories is.
Yeah, I don't have any Vince Gill stories. Vince Gill. All I can tell you about Vince Gill is one of the nicest men I ever met in my life. And yeah, that's all I can say.
Gravy rate buffet.
Yeah, he's a smoking nice guy and one of the best.
He's
musicians.
a smoking player. You can't even nail him down to one thing.
No, he can do anything.
He's a player.
Mando, guitar, acoustic, electric, doesn't matter. He's monstrous and humble. Doesn't even, when you meet him, it's like you're meeting a pizza delivery guy. Like, he just doesn't give a shit about it. Everything's a joke, burger. Laughing his ass off, but everything. He's got a great sense of humor. Always giggling and laughing. But yeah. Next.
Question from 3 Card Monty.
That's a name I haven't heard for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yep, 3 Card Monty.
What's harder, the hemlock on the walls or Chris's head?
Definitely Chris's head.
My head.
Yeah, he's got a skull.
Harder than Tusk.
Yeah, like the uniframe of a Volkswagen Beetle. The ones built by Hitler, not the current VWs.
Can't say Hitler anymore.
Okay, next.
Super chat from Jamie Reed.
Jamie Reed.
Tone Traveler or Tone Right? Thinking I should get one of them. Hope you're all doing good.
I would go with the Tone Traveler. The Tone Right works great, but the Tone Traveler
Is
nuanced. Yeah, it will do very specific things to your guitar that general vibration can't do.
It is so complex, even Ginger can't decode it.
No, she can't. Okay, next, quickly.
Before she
Let's
reacts.
get off this topic before we spend another 2 hours.
I
on
spent
the
2
show.
hours
Science.
asking him
Yeah,
why
fuck science.
and trying to make him explain it.
Okay, next.
Other than it sounds
Next.
better.
Next!
And he wouldn't.
Okay, next!
He wouldn't science me.
Gravy rate buffet.
Let's do my own research. Apparently Coulter's 28.
What?
Coulter's 28.
Yeah, apparently he's 28.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit, that's scary. He sings and writes like he's 40.
Question from Corey McCormick.
Corey McCormick.
Did Jeremy kick you off his show? LOL. Love your content and everything you guys do.
Jeremy. You must be talking about Jeremy Shepherd.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. You pick that up for me.
What'd you lose?
I need that. I dropped my pen right on top of Chris's cow.
On the floor? See, he was doing so well and he broke him again.
Hi, Jeremy. Okay, next.
That's it.
Really?
Oh, wait.
Thank
Oh,
God.
one just came in. Your opinion on the PRS SE acoustic line? And have you ever met Paul Reed Smith?
I haven't met Paul Reed Smith, and anything short of what's actually coming out of his shop is garbage. I've played those, whatever they are, Chinese or Japanese version of, Mexican version of PRS. Horrible. They're fine. If you want that name, you want whatever, but they're not good guitars. So they're plywood garbage. So anyhow,
You gotta warm that up first.
thanks, Paul.
You gotta warm that up first.
For what?
Make
What?
sure it writes.
Was it in your bag? It writes. So the question tonight is.
What's the question?
The question tonight is.
What is it?
How many minutes did Chris Coote laugh at the start of the show?
Did you actually count?
Yes, I did.
I should
Wow.
keep track.
I did.
We'll be.
You
You realize you'll
need,
be here
don't
for
need,
15
don't need the
minutes.
seconds. Just the minutes that he laughed at the start of the show.
In that one stretch.
In that one stretch, it was quite impressive. I looked at my phone, and I watched him. How many minutes did he laugh at the start of this show?
I don't even know.
Kinds of answers coming in. All of them.
All of the minutes.
There was an exact number of minutes.
Of course there is. There's always a truth.
What do you got?
So many things. I'm also writing partners on the screen.
Give me the first one.
Hang on. I gotta scroll. 6.
Nope.
7.
That was it. Who has 7 minutes?
It's Jim Waller.
Jim Waller, you're number 13.
Wow.
You were 7 minutes.
Really?
You non-stop wheezed for 7 minutes.
About ready to...
It was
Start
fucking
committing
amazing.
crimes.
I couldn't believe it. I thought you were going to die. I was like, well, I'm going to need to do CPR here in a second. But
We have our
who
own
was the
nurse.
next one with 7
We
minutes?
have our own nurse in the building.
Jamie Reed.
There you go. Jamie Reed, you're number 14.
Wow. 2 of the 4 people that were watching us.
Here we go. The 7-minute wheeze fest.
Yeah.
As you know.
Yeah.
We'll play some more of this homogenized
Yeah. Yeah, fiddle dribble.
Yeah, this
Fiddle
homogenized,
dribble.
non-distinct
Fiddle dribble.
Celtic fiddle shit.
Fiddle dribble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here, let me knock it against the table.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody who may or may not have ever actually seen a fiddle.
Yeah. It stings a little bit coming out.
Yeah, it does. So thanks for being with us on String Abuse. Theory.
We apologize profusely.
Yes. We love you, and the lovely
Hope you have
Ginger.
something better to do
Thank
next
you.
week.
Thank you to the lovely Ginger.
Yeah.
And the wheezy Chris. And from yours truly, JP, the Martin hater of all laminate structures.
Could you turn that up a little? I can hardly hear you.
Yeah,
talk.
I think we should be.
I cannot.